Hello, welcome to Longshot Larry's Sports Astrology, looking at the final of the Miami Open for the men's event. We've got Sinner up against Medvedev, and the odds are pretty even, so we don't have a favourite and an underdog, so we can't use a Frawley method. So just looking at the chart here, we can see that the moon is going to sextile Mars in about 1 degree or 2 hours. That's one aspect in operation. The moon is separating from an opposition to Saturn. We can see these planets here, the Sun, Jupiter, Mercury. They're all going to be crossing the midheaven during the game, so links to those are going to be helpful for the players. First chart I'm going to look at is Medvedev. He is an Aquarian with his Sun conjunct Mars, and that was active when he won the 2021 US Open against Djokovic. He's got Neptune applying to a sextile to his Mercury-Neptune conjunction, and Mercury is a very important planet in tennis in my opinion. You will see a lot of Geminis in tennis, and it has to do with agility and coordination, so that is a helpful aspect. He does have Saturn applying to a square to Pluto about 3 minutes of arc away. Pluto is sextile his Uranus. Uranus is a very important planet for him, being in Aquarius, ruling his an Aquarian sun, and Uranus is also sextile Venus natally there, so that's not a helpful aspect. He's looking at his progressions. His progressed Venus has moved to Taurus, and his progressed Mercury is in Pisces here. And you can see in the Moon and the Mars, and also I forgot to mention the node there. They're also lining up with the node. Is aligned with that. Saturn is applying a conjunction to his progressed Mercury, and I think that's helpful. So he should have a good game. Looking at Sinner, the young prodigy here from Italy. We have a time chart for Sinner, which is very, very helpful. They're gold when it comes to astrology analysis. So Uranus here is applying to a square to his MC, and it rules his MC, so that's a bit of a negative. However, the Sun up here will be the first planet to cross the midheaven during the game, as long as it starts on time. The Sun is separating from a trine to his Pluto about 8 minutes away, and is applying to a sextile to his Saturn, and that's one of his difficult alignments, so there's some alleviation today. Probably the main one here, Jupiter at 19 Aries 32 is applying to a trine to his Mars, and that's a very good aspect, very close. That's one of the best winning aspects you'll find going into a major tournament final for a player. The Moon is exactly conjunct his Mercury, or very close, and as I said, Mercury is an important planet for tennis players. It's agility and coordination, so that should be helpful. Applying to a trine to Mars there. His Mercury is trying the part of fortune natally, so that should be beneficial for him. Looking at Sinner's progressions, you can see his ascendant progresses move down here, and it's in alignment with Jupiter here, so it should be a good 12 months or so coming up for Sinner generally. That's quite a positive alignment. His progressed Sun is down here at Virgo. It is past the square to his natal Saturn Pluto opposition. However, it is still applying to a square to his progressed Saturn. So when that one's active, that's going to be a difficulty for Sinner. It's not really active today. Saturn is applying to an opposition to his Mercury, which is stronger than Moon or Saturn today, probably the Moon. And so he looks pretty good overall. So I'm thinking Sinner's probably a pretty big star in Italy. He's probably the best chance to win a Grand Slam. Believe the last Italian to win a Grand Slam was 1976, if you want to put in the comments if that's different. And the reason I put Italy up here is just to see if there's anything going on with the Italian chart. So you can see the Jupiter here, just past the sextile to the Italian Sun, which is 19 Gemini. So you remember Sinner's Mars is over here at 19 Sag, so that's a very close link. Also see that Uranus here at 17 Gemini trine Jupiter lines up with his ascendant and midheaven. And the Mars for Italy is also conjunct the Sun of Sinner, so very close synastry links. What about this Moon Mars? So the Moon and Mars are applying to a sextile and trine to the Italian Moon, and South Node is conjunct. Now the Moon in a country's chart represents the public's feelings, so this could be indicative of a lot of elation and triumph. If Sinner, this would be a pretty major win for Sinner. I think this would be his biggest tournament win. So in summary here, We can't use the Frawley method today because there's no clear favourite. So looking at the aspects for both Medvedev and Sinner, I think Sinner's got the advantage. And if we throw in the Italian chart here, the Italian chart also looks quite active. So overall I think Sinner looks the better chance to win. And this should be an interesting game. If you'd like to see updates, please like, subscribe. It's important you subscribe because time commitments, I only get them out sometimes a couple of hours before the game. So if you want to get notifications, please hit that button. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.